This is Scott the Fix-It Guy. Our goal with our videos is to empower you to be able to do the repairs on your own and save a whole lot of money and also get that great feeling of having fixed it by yourself. So guy, today we have a GE profile refrigerator, bottom freezer, and the freezer has a bunch of ice that keeps building up at the bottom and it's leaking water out the front. So we're going to do a little repair here. First we're going to get all these drawers out. I'm just going to lift up these baskets. We have to do a little disassembly to the front of the freezer so we can get to the part that is causing the leak. And it's all part. If this video is helping you, please consider pressing down in the lower right hand corner of your screen the subscribe button, and that really helps our channel. Thanks a lot. Part of a defective defrost system, but it's really easy to fix. So I'm pushing in on a white plastic tab here on the left metal rail. I'm going to push in and then pull the rail toward me. And I'll do the same thing on the right side. There's a little white plastic tab. You'll see it. Push in on it and then pull the metal rail out away from the freezer just a little bit, and that releases those two rails. And then we're going to pull the door and the rails out as one assembly. So we're pulling on the door and the rails, getting those guys out of there all together as one assembly. So I'm going to pull on the rails now, keeping them symmetrical. We've got the whole door and rail assembly out. I'm going to set it off to the side. And that gives you a lot more room. I'm going to pull this basket out. You can use the video too to help you remember how to put things back. And I'm going to pull the ice bucket out. Just pull straight out. Then I'm going to get this little divider out. I'm going to just pull it at the bottom to the side, and actually I'll pull this one rail out too, the one on the left hand side. It has 3 Phillips head screws holding it in, 3 white screws. So just use a Phillips head screwdriver and you can spin those out, and it's just a little bit more disassembly allows us to get to the back of the freezer, to the area called the evaporator. It's hiding behind this big white sheet metal panel here in the back. We have to get in there to clear some ice out of the way so we can make the defrost system work properly again. So I'm just removing those screws, and I pulled out that center section. I just pulled it out at the bottom and then it just slips out. It's just in there by friction. I'm going to push in on a tab here, and then maybe I'll use a screwdriver to help me, and then lift this bar out of the way. And then I'll do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to push in. You can use your finger or a screwdriver, and then lift up on the bar. It's got 2 bars out. We got to get the ice maker out of there too. So we're going to remove 2 Phillips head screws, or you can just loosen them maybe halfway out. Then you should be able to lift up on the ice maker to get it out of there. There we go. And then we're going to take this electrical connector for the ice maker and pull that off and get the ice maker out of there. Now I'm going to remove 2 Phillips head screws holding on the back panel, one here on the left and one right in the middle. And this panel is actually made of plastic. I'm sorry, it isn't sheet metal. This one's a plastic one. I'm going to lift up with a standard head screwdriver on the corner, the middle, and the other corner, and that loosens up that panel. And I'm going to pull off this one rail guide. I took out the screws already, so it just came right out. And then I can pull on the panel a little bit more. I'm still connected to an electrical connector here behind this panel, so I'm just going to pull this panel toward me, the whole panel, and then I'll just push it through, and now I can get the big panel out. And that's going to allow me to get to the evaporator so I can get rid of some ice that's accumulated. About every 8 to 12 hours there's a little heater that kicks in and it melts ice on the evaporator, and then that water drains into a trough, and that drains underneath your refrigerator. And in this one, that little hole that it drains through was plugged with ice, so the ice accumulated, and now I got to use my paint scraper to kind of break up the ice. Just take your time here, be careful that we don't hit the the silver part above it, the evaporator. It's kind of fragile. So I'm just pulling out the big chunks of the ice that I was able to get out. And in the meantime, I've been heating some water to the boiling point. I want the water to be super hot. I'm going to use that to melt the ice that's inside the little hole. I'm using a turkey baster. So I got the boiling hot water, and I'm squirting that down into that hole. You can see a little steam coming out. And I'm going to need to do that numerous times. In this case, we're not showing all of these on the video, but I think I did this cycle about 15 times. I took hot water, I shot it into that little hole, and then let it sit for about 30 seconds, and then I pulled that water out, and then I spit it into this pan, and that water's kind of lukewarm because that water helped melt some of the ice. And then I do it again, and it melts a little bit more of the ice in the hole, and it goes deeper and deeper. That hole probably has about an inch worth of ice blocking it. So that's why it takes numerous times to finally get the water to flow. Once you get it done, you'll be able to hear the water just flow through the tube, and if you keep putting water in, it doesn't pool up anymore, it disappears. And that's a good sign. That means it's flowing through that tube to a big tray underneath your refrigerator. You don't want to have a bunch of water flow. So once the water starts flowing, maybe just give it one more thing of hot water. I've got a little copper piece of wire here. I took the insulation off and I bent it. And I'm going to put this copper wire in on the heating rod, and then that wire will go down into that hole, and that'll transfer heat during the heat cycle down into that hole so that it won't ice up again. Here's a close-up picture of that copper wire bent over the heating rod, the black heating rod, and now going down into that hole, and then we won't get a reoccurrence. Now we just have to put it all back together and we're done. Thanks so much for watching our video, and please subscribe to our channel when you get a chance, and also click the little bell notification button so we can send you weekly videos on all the different ways of fixing appliances around your home and saving you lots of money. So thanks again for watching, and please also press the like button for our video if this was helpful to you. Thanks Feel free to contact me at the email listed below, which is scottthefixitguy@yahoo.com, with any of your questions. And also, if you need to have a FaceTime meeting with me or a Zoom meeting, you can click on one of the links below in the description, and we can set up a 15-minute or 30-minute video conference where we can work on your appliance problem. So thanks again for all your support and for watching the video.